The purpose of today's lesson is to take the 3 JPEGs that you have created, the zombie, the tombstone, and the spooky text, put it together, and then hand create a scary scene. So we're going to start with going by File, New. We're going to change it to inches. We're going to make it 10 by 8, 150, and transparent. Go ahead and click OK. Now the first thing that you can do is you can bring in your 3 JPEGs so that when you're creating, you can use, you have them there and you can place them wherever you want. So to do that, you go to File, Open, and you have to go to wherever you have them saved. And they should show up something along these lines here. So if I click on one, if you have all 3 of them in a same folder, if you click on one, hold down the Shift key and click the last one, all 3 of them will highlight, and you can click Open, and you can see across the top here, it has brought in all 3 of them. So I have my original, and then I have my spooky, my tombstone, and my zombie. Okay, so to get them, these JPEGs over here, you can do it one of 2 ways. There's probably more, but I'll show you 2 ways. The first way is with the selection tool. You can go ahead and hit Control A on the keyboard, and you can see that you get the dancing ants. I can then hit Control C or Edit, Copy, click on this first one, hit Control V or Edit, Paste. The second way you can do it is if you have the selection tool selected. If you go to the actual layer that you want to move, so if I want to move this, I'm going to click, hold, drag it up, put it right on top of it. It opens that up. You drag it down, and now I have both of them in there. And then the third one, you can do whichever way. You can do these whichever way makes it simpler and easy for you. Okay, so now you have your 3 layers. So we're going to go ahead, because this project will have multiple layers, we're going to go ahead and name our layers, because if not, once you start putting in all of the other things, you will get lost. All right, so I have all of these things. The very first thing I would do is go to your tombstone, go to your magic wand tool, select all the white around it, delete it, Control D, do the same thing for the zombie, and then Control D, so that you can do that. The other thing you might want to try to do now is, if I am on my tombstone, I might want to make it bigger for right now, and then take my zombie and put my zombie on top of it. And then if you remember, if you hit Control T, you can go ahead and turn and resize and make it work within the area that you have. Now, the cool thing is that now these are still 2 layers, but you're most likely going to keep this together. So you can do 2 things. One, you could either take and highlight, hold the Shift key down and highlight both of them, and then right click and say Merge Layers, and now you don't have the choice to move that. If you're 100% sure, you can do that, but a better way to do it is if both of them are highlighted. If you go down here, this very last one that looks like a link means that you are linking them together. So now if I go over here, I'll go off of this, I'm going to click on this. If I click Control T, it moves both of them at the same time so that it will do that. If I didn't want that for whatever reason, all I have to do is click so that both of them are selected, and then click the link key and the link will go away. So I find that that's probably the best, because usually you end up changing your mind, especially something like this that you get to be creative and such. So now I'm just going to start with showing you like 2 basics, and then you are allowed to bring in a house, bats, whatever it is to make a scary scene like we had. So the first one would be that if I had a paintbrush selected, and I'm going to choose black because we are talking about, and I'm just going to draw a line. Okay, so now what did I do wrong? Well, I put this line on the spooky text, so that's not a good thing. So I need to make myself a new layer. Now if I draw myself a line, okay, so now I have a line, and I want to make this a gradient. So if I made this a gradient, basically, even with this layer selected, if I went to the gradient tool and I selected and I said I only want from here to here, it's still going to cover everything. So what you need to do is, with a closed shape, which this is closed because you have all of this is closed, you need to go to your magic wand tool and select that area. Then once you have done that, you can go to your, we'll do black to white, I guess. You can go to your gradient tool, and if I click and I drag, I now just get it in this. And you can sit and play with it however you want it to be. And you can also do like a circular one. Remember how all of this stuff you could do. So I'm just going to, for this, I'll let you play with it as long as you don't get too lost. We're just going to go like this. I probably wanted a little bit more than that. So let's go back to this guy, and we're going to just go here. So there you go. So now to get rid of the dancing ants, I hit Control D. And to get rid of this line, the easiest way is to get your fill bucket. Oops, wrong one, sorry. Fill bucket. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? Okay, never mind. All right, so I would say the easiest way would be to go ahead and get my paintbrush again. And you can all right. So now I personally put mine, I made I contoured it and beveled it. I think I put a outer glow on it. I didn't do a stroke, but I played around with it, so I've got that. The second thing is that you can do your moon. So I just went to